Greetings, brothers and sisters, and welcome to the Recreating Black Wall Street initiative. My name is Ernest Durham. I'm the president and the CEO of the Durham Corporation. Many of you all have probably heard of my company. We've been around for the last 39 years. We manufacture black hair care products. Our flagship product was the Leisure Curl back in the day, and I know everybody's heard of that product. But we're back now, brothers and sisters, in these uncertain economic times to show you all how the black hair care product that made me a very prosperous person can do the same for you all. And like I've always said, it doesn't take money to create wealth, brothers and sisters. Unity creates the wealth. As long as we work together, nobody will be left behind. So what our company does, brothers and sisters, is that we inspire black people to keep our dollars circulating among ourselves and our own communities. And we promote the importance of intentional spending, brothers and sisters. That means you have to be intentional as to where your dollars go. You can't just continue to just throw them up in the air and give them to everybody who comes along who want to sell you something and don't intentionally sell and buy from your own people. Because the wealth of any race of people, brothers and sisters, is not only buying like we've been accustomed to doing and we've done for years, but it's selling also. We've got to sell. And I know that might seem, kind of bad or poison to some people because, traditionally we don't want to sell. We buy. But you can't be wealthy just buying. And if you notice, the people who open stores up in our neighborhoods, they come in with one agenda, brothers and sisters, and that's to sell. They sell to us. It's not even in their mindset to buy anything from anybody who comes in those stores. Their agenda is to sell. And they know that we're consumers, so this is why there's an influx of foreigners in our neighborhoods, and I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. We are supposed to be a blessing to every race of people on this earth. We're a blessing, but we're foolish if we don't bless ourselves, though. That's what I'm saying. So we can continue to be a blessing to everybody else. That's what we're put here for, to bless other people. But now we've got to bless ourselves too, brothers and sisters, and the Durham Corporation is going to show us how to do that. And if I hadn't done it already, I couldn't show you how to do it. So this is what this Black Wall Street model is all about. Us, going back and revisiting that initiative and generating wealth for ourselves now. Now, to prevent the spread of the so-called coronavirus, brothers and sisters, many Americans have been laid off from their jobs. They've been let go. And the unemployment rate in the United States is predicted to go up to somewhere around 30% in the second quarter of this year because of the shutdowns to prevent the social contact. That's why they got this thing called social distancing right now. They don't want you in contact with anybody, so they close many of our employment opportunities down. Places where people work, they can't go to work anymore. Some have the good fortune of being able to work from home. Some companies allow them to do that, but so does the Durham Corporation. I don't need you all to go out. You can pick up the phone and call friends and relatives and get as many customers as you need to put in this system. Because the more customers you get up under you in this system, the more money you're going to make. But right now we're going to concentrate on just 2 customers. Let's get that money flowing, brothers and sisters, so I can take you all to the next level. Okay, so these are uncertain times for these workers, brothers and sisters who've been laid off, and they don't know when they're going to be called back and if they're going to be called back. And if they are, when? These questions, and they're uncertain. The answers are. They don't know when they're going to be called back, but we have something for them. If they're never called back, reach out to them, brothers and sisters, because we have something very special here. Now, I've done some research to let you all know what's going on out here too. Even the J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a lot of us have our monies in those banks, brothers and sisters. It predicts a 14% decrease in America's GPA, or GPD rather, gross national product, in April and June of this year. That's our spending power, brothers and sisters, the GPD. That tells you how much you're able to spend. And there's a 14% decrease in America's spending power for April and June of this year. And the Bank of America and the Oxford Economics predicts a 12% decrease. And the Goldman Sachs Group predicts a 24% decrease. And these are people who study the markets, brothers and sisters. But we can head them off. We don't have to be included in these percentages. All we need to do as a race of people, for the first time in history since Black Wall Street, is start working together again, brothers and sisters, and I can't stress that enough, buying from and selling to each other. And we can pattern ourselves after the foreigners who come to our country. They sell. We've got to be able to sell if you're going to be financially secure. And then, you know, I know it sounds redundant. I'm saying it over and over, but I have to pound it in. I've got to bring it home to you. Because we're used to buying. None of us wanted to sell, but now we've been forced into it. And I want to make it as easy as possible for you all to make this transition, to learn how to sell. So you start with friends and relatives first, people who trust you. But you make sure you get the right people, reliable people, brothers and sisters, because these are the ones who's going to be responsible for your wealth. Okay? So experts are predicting, brothers and sisters, that America will lose $2.5 trillion in income during that quarter. And even though our government has started programs, and you all have probably heard of them, these assistance programs to provide financial assistance or financial aid to Americans to help offset their lost income. Well, they've provided $2 trillion in financial aid, brothers and sisters. That's what the government is working on right now. But remember, we still have lawmakers. We still have politicians who don't agree on anything. And they you know, I don't care how hungry or poor American people may be, these lawmakers are just, you know, juggling the money around, you know, having squabbles and just inconsistencies about when they can release this money. And they have to be sensitive to the needs of the American people is what I'm saying. But these are the people who you elect to office. And then when a crisis come up, they start playing games with the money. They play politics. They squabble, as usual, about everything. They're not able to agree on something as serious as financial aid for the American citizens, brothers and sisters. And then in addition to that, I heard not too long ago, to add insult to injury, brothers and sisters, the word is that they pulled $25 billion out of our $2 trillion financial aid package to divide among themselves. Now, if that's not adding insult to injury, I don't know what is. It's all about greed, though. But again, we can offset all of that, brothers and sisters, by working together and create our own wealth. People are going to steal. They're going to take. And we can't stop that. But we can work together and be financially secure ourselves. Now, and I don't know if you all know it or not, but China, right now as we speak, where the outbreak supposedly got started, brothers and sisters, in China, where it's been reported that the Chinese government found a cure. But instead of providing the cure to the world, brothers and sisters, the world that they spread the virus to, instead of providing a cure to those people in other countries, they've opened up about 9,000 new factories, brothers and sisters, and they're producing masks and gloves and ventilators and other forms of medical equipment to protect all the other countries that they spread it, the so-called virus, to. How inhumane is that? You're going to spread the virus, but you're going to make money off of it. When you find the cure, you're going to sell the equipment, medical equipment. Why not just give the cure out? Everybody wants to make money. So, in the midst of everything that you see going on, brothers and sisters, with all the layoffs and jobs closing without any indication as to when people will return to work, our Creator, the God that we serve, brothers and sisters, has provided a fountain in the desert, or like the Bible calls it, a ram in the bush, for us. There's always a way for his children, brothers and sisters. Because remember, in every so-called recession, there are those who get rich, brothers and sisters, and those who remain poor. And we don't have to be the latter. If you're smart, you can get rich in any recession because everybody's in a down and out position. Nobody's competing in recessions except the smart people. Everybody else is looking for handouts. But smart people find a way, brothers and sisters, and we found that way. And during these uncertain times in America, it's the perfect time for us to take advantage of this very unique opportunity that's been given to us, brothers and sisters. But it's about taking advantage of it. Spread the word. That's how you take advantage of it. Tell people about what God has blessed us with, in other words. See, and this is how you can become the lifeline for your family and friends. By telling them about what we're doing. Now, the Durham Corporation is giving you the opportunity, brothers and sisters, to become wealthy during this recession. Because as soon as everyone has their customers involved, I'm going to put you in what I call the Millionaires Club. This is how you get wealthy in a recession or a depression. You can still become millionaires, brothers and sisters, because like I said before, money doesn't create wealth. Unity is what creates wealth. And if you all have the patience to do what you need to do, it'll take care of itself. This program takes care of itself, brothers and sisters. Just follow the simple steps that I have outlined for you. And it'll be easier, keep this in mind now, to become millionaires because you'll already have your people lined up. When I put you in the Millionaires Club, you'll already have your people lined up. And remember, 99% of the work is finding the people. So it's easier to make you a millionaire than it is to get you the $1,500, brothers and sisters. Because you have to find your people before you get that first $1,500. When you get into the Millionaires Club, you already have your people. It's just a matter of increasing the amount of product that you buy. So this is how that's done. So let's look forward to that. Let's look forward to it. So allow the Durham Corporation, is what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, to set you up in your own small startup business as distributors of my hair care products first. That's the first thing we have to do. The steps of 1,000 miles. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. You've got to take that first step, brothers and sisters. The 1,000-mile journey is you being a millionaire. But that first step that you have to take is to distribute 2 bottles of hair care products to the same 2 people over and over and over again, brothers and sisters. Well, that's all you have to do. You buy 1 bottle from whoever your distributor is that we can set you up with if you don't have one, and you sell 2 bottles. And you'll do that over and over, twice a month. And now, like I said, to your same 2 customers. You don't have to go out and get new customers unless you just want more than 1 check. So 2 customers represents another check. It represents an additional check. For every 2 customers, there is an additional check, is what I'm saying. And you'll receive $1,500 in sales commission, brothers and sisters, every month. Or, keep this in mind now, you have the choice to receive $500 in about 1/3 of the time. I want you all to keep that in mind too. The $1,500, it takes about 3 times as long to receive it, but if you want it in about a third of the time, you can receive $500. And some people have elected to do that. Everybody don't have to, but I have to give you all the option because I got quite a few people that want to do that. Okay, so like I said, it's about a third of the time that it takes to receive your $1,500. Now, this company is inspired by Black Wall Street of the 1920s, brothers and sisters, that taught us not only unity and working together, but that unity allows us to survive as a race of people, brothers and sisters, and not just exist as a people, the way so many of us have been forced to do. We just existed in some of these urban cities, brothers and sisters, living in poverty, lack, and want. We were just existing. But Black Wall Street taught us to survive, and we're going to pattern ourselves after that same model. Because my research, brothers and sisters, it's revealed to me that black people in America generate over $1.2 trillion annually. Think about that. That's a lot of money. We're not talking about billions. We're talking about trillions. That's collectively, all of us. That's the spending power that we have. That's more spending power than most countries. We are a country within a country, brothers and sisters, when you look at it as far as spending power is concerned. We are a country, a prosperous country within a country. And I'm going to share some staggering statistics with you all about some of these other countries and how much money they have compared to us. And remember, when I talk about Black Americans, I'm not talking about Africans and Caribbean people and the Aborigines in Australia. I'm talking about Black Americans. And regardless of what country you came from and you're black here in America, you still make up Black America. I'm not talking about other countries. I'm talking about black people in America. Okay, we have $1.2 trillion in spending power, and that makes us, brothers and sisters, the 12th largest economy in the world. So God definitely is good, is what I'm saying. The 12th largest economy in the world. You've got a lot of countries out there in the world, brothers and sisters, and none of them, except 11, generates more money annually than Black Americans. You've got 54 countries in Africa, and none of them generates as much money as Black America. And all the countries in the Caribbean and anywhere else, there are only 11 countries that make more money annually or generate more money than we do here in America as black people. Now, my research has also shown me that Hispanics circulate their money, and we've got to talk about this. It's about circulating money, brothers and sisters. It's not about spending money. The only money that you need to be spending is the money that I give you for working with this company. That's your money to spend. But we've got to have a small portion to circulate among ourselves over and over and over to keep those monthly checks coming. And this is what we're going to get into now. But the Hispanic communities, brothers and sisters, circulate their money on an average of 6 to 8 times before it leaves their community. It touches 6 to 8 hands before it leaves. Whites circulate their money 8 to 12 times. Asians and Arabs circulate their money 13 to 14 times, brothers and sisters. The lifespan of the Jewish dollar circulates 18 times in their community before they're allowed to leave. But then on the other hand, the lifespan of the black dollar is only 6 hours, brothers and sisters. 6 hours before it leaves our community. And that's mainly because we don't have a lot of black businesses in our communities to buy anything from. We don't have anywhere to go to spend our money except, to stores where the foreigners have come in and opened up. And they're going to take that money. They're not going to circulate in our communities. They're going to take it back to where they live. And they don't live in our community. So this is what I'm saying. Now we have $1.2 trillion in spending power, and we're the 12th largest economy in the entire world, brothers and sisters. Now, if this is the case, why is the average black person in America still poor? I know we've got some rich people, some entertainers and sports figures and business people, but the average black person in America is still poor. Why is that? Well, if the lifespan of our black dollar is only 6 hours before it leaves our community, brothers and sisters, that's your answer. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. That's your answer. So, if I'm able to help you understand the importance of buying from and selling to each other, brothers and sisters, this is when our dollar will continue to circulate in our communities at least 8 to 12 times. And if we can do that, if we can circulate the money in our community, this will strengthen our position in America. As far as racism, discrimination, and police brutality is concerned, brothers and sisters, because it's a proven fact, and it's been proven on a daily basis that no one really cares about poor people. And if we can't circulate our money several times among ourselves, we are going to remain poor. And nobody cares about poor people, not even poor white people. That's why they're left homeless and they live on the street, brothers and sisters, because they're poor and nobody cares about poor people. And many of our people are poor, and we don't have to be. We're poor because we don't have the unity. We haven't had the unity since Black Wall Street to stick together and work together, buy from and sell to each other. That's the unity that I'm going to create. I'm going to pay you all to do it. Do you understand whenever you sell your product to two black people, that's called unity because you're working together. When you buy a product from a black person, that's unity because you're working together. You're buying from and selling to each other. That's the formula for prosperity, brothers and sisters, and I can't stress it enough. So we know the spending power that we have, so it won't, do us any good to point the finger at anybody else. We don't need excuses because as black Americans with $1.2 trillion worth of spending power, brothers and sisters, and we're the only black people in the world that has the economic strength to change our condition. They can't do anything in Africa to change their conditions, or the Caribbean, or in Australia, or anywhere else they have black people, because they don't generate the money that black Americans generate. And money is power, brothers and sisters. Wealth is power. So if you've been discriminated against, you can buy whatever you need. You can buy the protection from the politicians or anybody else. But you have to direct that money. You have to bring it together in unity and direct it on one accord. You have to be of the same mindset to make sure that all these things take place that we want for ourselves and our children and the future of our race. We've got to get started at some point because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense for a race of people to have as much money as we have and live the way that we do, that many of us do in this country. So we can all start by allowing the Durham Corporation, once again, to set you up in your own small startup business, brothers and sisters, that you can work from home just 2 days a month. I don't need you to work no more than that. Reach out to your same people every other week, 2 days out of the month, and buy from your distributor. Send that money to your distributor for your one bottle of product and have your two customers to send you the money for their 2 bottles of product. And we'll do the shipping. You don't have to leave the comfort of your home. And we'll just circulate money between all of us. That's how it's done, brothers and sisters. And you receive your $1,500 sales commission check every month. Now, the most important thing about becoming financially free through the Durham Corporation is finding, like I said before, 2 good, reliable customers to sell your product to. And when I say reliable, I'm talking about customers who will follow the instructions and each sell 2 bottles to 2 other people. That's what makes it work. And we're not saying sell hundreds of bottles of product. We're only talking about 2. And for anybody that you run into that say they don't know 2 people to sell it to, leave them alone. Because remember, these guys who own these beauty supply stores don't have any trouble finding black people to sell their products to. They sell to thousands of black people every week. And if we can't find 2 black people out of our friends and relatives to sell 1 bottle to each one of them, there's a problem. But we got to make it happen, brothers and sisters, because remember, all of us are not spiritually asleep. And those are the ones you have to find, the ones who are spiritually awakened. And they see the vision. We can't expect all of us to see the vision. They haven't up until now. But they will see it, and we'll come back and get them later, after you all start showing your checks. That's the most important thing you can do at this point. Do what you need to do to get your first check. And then all those unbelievers, show it to them. And with the economic condition and the job market the way it is, they'll all come in, because everybody needs something right now. They'll come in, brothers and sisters. So our most important job is to get checks in you all's hands right now. Okay. So the product sells for $30 a bottle per each 16-ounce bottle, plus an $11 shipping charge to ship the product. So that's $41 total. So you want to sell your product to 2 people who will also sell just 2 bottles to 2 reliable customers also. And everyone will sell their products to the same 2 customers, brothers and sisters, over and over and over, twice every month, to receive your monthly sales commission. And if the 2 bottles are shipped to you to distribute to your 2 customers, there's an $11 shipping cost. If the products are shipped to 2 different addresses, brothers and sisters, there's an $11 shipping cost for each address. So let's keep that in mind. Another good thing about this distribution opportunity, brothers and sisters, is that you're not just limited to $1,500 a month. Because if you sell an additional 2 bottles to 2 more customers, you receive 2 sales commission checks. So we'll allow you to earn as much income as you need, is what I'm saying, brothers and sisters. Earn as much as you need. If you do the work, you deserve to earn more money. You just need to decide if you're going to stay in the system long enough for the $1,500, or if you want to bail out sooner and take the $500. You're going to still be able to start over and follow the same instructions and just keep on going. Some people may need the $500. They may be in more need. Some may be able to wait it out and get the $1,500. So like I said again, that's up to you all. You all decide what you want to do when the time comes. When you reach the $500 mark, I'll contact you and let you know and you can tell me if you want to stay on the grid or not to receive the $1,500, if you want to go on and take the $500. But the instructions are the same. We're going to still do what you need to do with your same 2 customers over and over and over. So I want you all to understand that with this employment opportunity, brothers and sisters, unemployment will be a thing of the past for you, your relatives, and your friends. Because under this employment program, the Durham Corporation can hire just about everybody in America. Because all they're doing is selling 2 bottles of product, and everybody knows 2 people. Everybody in America knows 2 people that they can sell their product to. It's only 2 bottles. Now I'm going to show you how black Americans spend their money, brothers and sisters, and where we rank in the world as far as spending power and economic wealth is concerned. Because we have it. We have more economic wealth than every country in the world except 11. And that's staggering. It's almost scary, brothers and sisters, to know how much power we have that we've never known about. But black Americans spend over $500 billion annually on hair care products because we don't like the way our hair is, most of us, so we do things to change it. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But this is where a lot of our spending power comes from. $500 billion every year on hair care products. And remember, that's where I made my money. So I know, I'm telling you from experience. Our people spend money on hair care products. And that's the same industry that I'm going to make you millionaires from, brothers and sisters. You've got $500 billion here that you're spending anyway. We're going to redirect some of that back into your household. But the first step, like I said, is buy one bottle from your distributor and sell 2 bottles to 2 friends or relatives. That's the first step. And we'll talk about getting your piece of this big pile a little later. But we got to, do your due diligence. Do your, that first step first. So we spend $500 billion annually on hair care products, and that's 9 times more than non-blacks, brothers and sisters. Keep that in mind. Because most of them got that wash and go hair anyway. Shampoo it and go. And another thing is that we spend about another $9 billion annually on weaved hair. That's a huge business, brothers and sisters. And like I said on one of the other earlier broadcasts about recreating Black Wall Street, is that industry is so big, $9 billion a year. The people who are shaving their hair in Korea and China and Brazil and India and selling that hair to our people, they can't keep up with the demand. $9 billion is a lot of money. Your hair don't grow that fast to keep up with that demand. So they started shaving the hair from horses and other animals and sending it to us to use for weaved hair. And that caused a problem too, but that's on an earlier message of recreating Black Wall Street, if you all want to go over there and listen to that, because they're all out on YouTube and they're on Facebook. So keep that in mind if you want to go back and listen to some earlier messages, because we have different information on different broadcasts. So every year, Black Americans spend about $2 billion on Air Jordans, $4 billion on alcohol, beer, and cigarettes, $600 million on fast food, and over $1 billion on Timberlands, brothers and sisters. Some staggering figures, but we have the spending power. Our problem is we don't know what to do with it. We have the money. We buy 43% of the cell phones in America, brothers and sisters, 23% of the televisions, 21% of radios, 18% of the internet, and we buy more designer purses and clothes